Namaste, dear listeners. Welcome to the IWA channel, Astro Inudabi, bringing in oneness in astrology and spirituality, awareness by Abhi. So, here the question. Hi, Abhi. Please, can you explain what Rahu and Ketu is? Okay, Rahu and Ketu, obviously, the names itself is coming from Vedic astrology. And in Western astrology, it's named as the North Node and the South Node, right? Um, So I'm gonna speak about both Rahu and Ketu and the North Node and South Node, which is basically the same. So what is Rahu? So Rahu and Ketu are respectively called the North and South lunar nodes. So Rahu is the North Node and Ketu is the South Node. So what are they? We're gonna get to it now. So guys, if you are new on my Spotify account, please note that you can also find all my podcasts on my YouTube channel, Astro In with Abhi. So, let's explain it like this here. There are various planets in the solar system, and I would like to classify Rahu and Ketu as planets as well. Why? I'll explain it to you. For me personally, Rahu and Ketu are the karmic axis. Now, every astrologer will explain it differently. Now, I'm explaining it from awareness Bhabi. Vedic astrology is basically Jyotish, light, and it makes use of 7 planets: Sun and Moon, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus as solid real planets, and also Rahu and Ketu in analyzing a chart. Now, the arrangement or combination of planets at the moment of birth over the place in our birth becomes our birth chart. Time is also taken into consideration. And this will show us our soul's journey in this earthly realm. Now, the chart will show our personality, blah, 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 relationships, etc. So, you can learn a lot from Rahu and Ketu through Vedic astrology. Or in Western astrology, the north-south node. North being Rahu and Ketu being south. So now we know that Rahu is the north node and Ketu is the south node. It's then safe to move forward. Whilst they are not actually planets of the physical substance, so here it gets a bit tricky. I refer to them as planets, but in Vedic astrology, they are not actually planets of physical substance like the other 7 planets. They are more like a gathering or a churned up of energy, full of mysticism and significance. So there are points where the moon and Earth's orbits intersect. This creates 2 areas of electromagnetic disturbances, which are directly opposite each other and have come to be known as the moon's nodes, or in Vedic terms, Rahu and Ketu. Now, Rahu and Ketu in Sanskrit name given collectively for the nodes of the moon. Rahu is the north, Ketu is the south of the moon. They are always directly opposite each other. So if you've got Rahu in Aquarius, you've definitely got Ketu in Leo. You will never find Ketu anywhere. They are opposites. They are always directly opposite each other, which is 180 degrees apart. So now we know Rahu is always opposite of Ketu. Here's the yin and yang. They form the karmic axis in Vedic astrology, in the chart. And these two shadow planets, for me, I call them planets, shadow planets. They can indicate the type of karmas coming into this life, and they actually show, Rahu, where your desires are, what you'll be focused on, and Ketu is what you're bringing in from your past life, your skills, the perfections. Now, according to mythology, we will talk about that on the next podcast, what the mythology is on Rahu and Ketu. But for now, it is very important to understand that Rahu and Ketu are basically, um, they are the karmic axis. Axis means axis, opposites. So these are your karma from past and present life. And yeah, yes, you can bring in Saturn, you can look at Saturn as well. But fundamentally, Rahu and Ketu, um, these shadow planets are the nodes of the moon, right? As I explained before, they form the karmic axis in Vedic astrology. And how they are formed, the science behind it, I've explained with the moon, how that energy is formed, and you will never find them out of that axis. And they have a significant impact on your life. If you want to know how to, what skills you have, or you that's within you, which you're not sure of, you can look at your Ketu, where your Ketu is placed in your chart. And by looking at where your Rahu is, I can clearly see where your desires are, where your head is at, where your obsessions lie also. So Rahu shows me where your obsessions lie, where your desires are, where your head is at. This is the dragon's head, and Ketu is the dragon's tail in Chinese astrology. So I'll keep it to that. Thank you very, very much, guys. Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya. Haribol.